Okay, so today we have Highway Star by Deep Purple from Machine Head. Now, I've heard, all about Deep Purple this, Deep Purple that, but as, as somebody who's only ever listened to Smoke on the Water, because, it's on the radio every 10 minutes, basically, I'm intrigued by Deep Purple, and I was thinking, Deep Purple, why not finally get to them? So let's get into this one today. Highway Star, 6 minutes long. Let's see what they got, and let's go. shit. All right, all right. Highway Star by Deep Purple. So I mean, like I said, at the start there, that this is from Machine Head, and not only it's from Machine Head, but it's the first track on the album. And I mean, I can't imagine, 1972 when this came out, being, good lord, the neighbors were noisy. Being a a teen, whatever, somebody buying this album in 1972 and putting this on. And this is the first track you hear. I mean, I have to say, just to, give my thoughts about it, what he's talking about, nobody's going to touch my girl, nobody's going to touch my car. It's just basically, and how he, at one point as well, how he was talking about, everything's all right. It just seemed like, I guess he's talking about, his life's good right now, like I said, talking about his girl, talking about his car, nobody's going to catch me, all this stuff. And I was just, I love it, I need it. And all this stuff, it just seems like a good song. It feels like he's feeling good. And he's just, he's happy about things, and, his life's great. And he's just like, fuck, listen to this, it's just like, so yeah, I mean, I guess I also have to say, so just to get that right off the bat, it seems like the song is pretty, cheery, I guess you would say. I don't think it's dark or anything. But then obviously, I mean, the play between the organ and the guitar, the organ solo, then the guitar solo, and I mean, coming into this, because I never like to go into a song cold. I like to, find out, things about, the song, and, research some stuff before, just going right into a reaction or whatever. But, so, I heard about, that there's an organ in the song. And I guess that also John Lord, who's on the organ here, that he kind of likened the organ, what he did here to something that, Johann Sebastian Bach would have done. Not, I guess not would have done. I mean, it's something, maybe Bach would have done in the 70s, that kind of a feel. And I mean, I like classical music a lot too. And it's just like, so I really appreciated that he really, I don't know, that he was kind of given, that was his point. That was his, what the hell's the word? That was his goal, I guess, to have something, classical there. But it's so fast too, obviously. And the guitar solo, I mean, how the song starts off, with the guitar and the bass, just to start it off. And then Ian Gillan comes in around almost minute mark. And it just seems like, with the song, what it really comes down to, it seems like, they all got in the studio, whatever, and they all just, said, we're all just gonna, be at our top. We're all gonna be, at our best on this track. I mean, my God, everybody's just going off here. I mean, and again, I've never gotten into Deep Purple, so I don't know all the band, but just to go through the personnel for me, I guess. So like I said, Ian Gillan on vocals, Ritchie Blackmore on electric guitar. And I have heard of Ritchie Blackmore. I don't know. I guess just probably because he's, a great guitarist. But again, I've never listened to Deep Purple, but I've heard his name a lot of times. But not Ian Gillan. Anyway, Roger Glover on bass. Like I said, love the, how it started off with the bass and the guitar. John Lord on organ. Obviously, like I said, really appreciate John Lord there. And Ian Pace. I want to say Pace on drums there. And obviously, and how he ended the song, it was a whole, crescendo, and then how the song ended with, when is he going to stop kind of a thing. And it's just, it was such a great performance. It was such a powerful, and I mean, you talk about Ian's vocals again when he was saying, I want it. He's just going on, that's terrible. But he's just, I need it. It's just like, oh my God. It's just like almost screeching or whatever. His vocals were so good, I guess you would say. They're so, maybe guttural in a word, I don't know, but it's just, so screechy in a way, I guess, as well, but almost, kind of reminded me of something like, and I know Deep Purple came out before them, but somebody like Paul Stanley or something, that's like the name that would come to mind, I guess, if I had, because I've never really listened to Deep Purple, so that's all that really comes to mind, for a voice that's like his or whatever. But yeah, so I mean, my God. And how, and Highway Star, obviously, this is a driving song. This is a song, and how he talks about, nobody, right off the bat, nobody gonna take my car. I'm gonna race it to the ground. My God, nobody gonna beat my car. It's gonna break the speed of sound. It's just like, Jesus Christ, man. It's just, and I can imagine if you're in a car, it's just like, hell yeah. Anyway, it's a killing machine. It's got everything, like a driving power, big fat tires and everything. And it's just, he's bragging about his car basically. But again, it just sounds so good. And then, like I said, the pre-chorus, I love it. I need it. I bleed it. It's just like, Jesus, he's really into it. And like I said, how it goes on, nobody gonna take my girl. I'm gonna keep her to the end. Nobody gonna have my girl. She stays close on every bend. She's a killing machine. She's got everything, like a moving mouth, body control and everything. I love her. I need her. I see her. It's just like, again, like I said, it's just like, it seems like, all this, stuff in his life, his car, his woman. it's all good. And how he says, nobody gonna take my head. I got speed inside my brain. I mean, speed. You might be talking about the drug, perhaps. Anyway, might be talking about drugs. Nobody gonna steal my head now that I'm on the road again. Oh, I'm in heaven again. I've got everything like a moving ground on open road and everything. And again, the open road is just like, if you're, again, talking about Highway Star, talking about the open road. I mean, I have to admit, I have been pulled over for speeding one time in my life. I mean, yeah, a car, going fast. It's always so fun. Listening, blasting music, blasting a song like this. I mean, my God. And again, back in the 70s, you had the older cars and everything, muscle cars, all that stuff, Mustang. I can just imagine freaking fastback or whatever going friggin', 100, whatever on the highway, and then just blasting this. I mean, my God. But anyway, this just all came to mind. But yeah, so obviously it's such a good feeling song. So I mean, it's so satisfying. I don't know, it's just just such a great rock freaking hit. I mean, it hits on everything. Like I said, the organ is just perfect. The vocals are, crazy. The bass is obviously prominent. Like I said, and how it starts off there with the interplay. The whole interplay between the band is fantastic. I mean, like I said, everyone is on top of their game here. It's just nuts. And again, to start off the album like this, it's just like, Jesus Christ. My God. So anyway, I do usually read the about on Genius.com. I know this, I'm basically almost done this review, or reaction, but I'll just get into this just to see if there's anything else. So Highway Star is a song by Deep Purple, yeah. It is the opening track on their 1972 album Machine Head, and it is the fastest song in tempo on the album. It was released as a lead single, and despite not charting, it is still considered one of their most popular songs. I can't imagine this not charting. I mean, holy shit. And of course, Smoke on the Water was the last single out of this. And I mean, like I said, I think everyone and their grandmother knows that song. This song was born on a tour bus going to Portsmouth in 1971 when a reporter asked how the band wrote songs. To demonstrate, guitarist Richie Blackmore grabbed an acoustic guitar and began playing a riff consisting of a single G repeated over and over, while vocalist Ian Gillan improvised lyrics over the top. The song was refined and performed that same night. Jesus. And I mean, that's one thing, again, you're talking about great, and I think Ian was the lyricist of the band as well. But I mean, you talk about, great songwriters, great lyricists, and just people that are so good at the craft, and it's so easy for them like that. You talk, I mean, all the greats, I mean, who could just come up with a song so quickly like that. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's so many bands that can do it, just off the top of their head. Come up with somebody asks them, how do you write a song? And then right off the bat, you're strumming the guitar and Ian's singing next to you, and there's a song. It's just, I don't know, it's just so quickly, it's not so quick, people could do it, musicians could do that. And then they performed it that same night. I mean, I think of somebody like Johnny Cash, who wrote like The Man in Black in one day when he went to a university. And anyway, yeah, so it's just all that kind of thing where you just see people, there's certain musicians out there who can just write a song in like 10 minutes. And then, I mean, sometimes they perform it that same night or whatever. And it's just like, my God, how do they do it? I mean, I'm not a songwriter, so God only knows. But anyway, I guess that's all I really got to say. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. Finally got to Deep Purple today. Been so long. And actually, hold the phone here. I just had to search up a random thing if Deep Purple was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because even though I'd never really listened to them, I remember that they were snubbed so many times, and that people always talked about how they weren't in. But yeah, they are, and they got in 2016, and they were inducted by Lars Ulrich, of course. So anyway, good to hear that they finally got in there, because I mean, I've only heard a couple songs, but I mean, this band, again, you think of the 70s, you think of Deep Purple, even if you're not a big fan. I mean, my God, I mean, Smoke on the Water, just for that freaking, how big that song was, they should probably be in the Rock Hall, and they are. So anyway, again, thanks for everything. Thanks for the request as well. And I will talk to you guys again soon.